Christina is a tech founder coach that takes you and your success to heart. And she's a global executive coach and mentor with unique proven methods for value-driven change makers. And knowing her, she has been part of these events for a few times. And I know that she works mostly with clients in the US as well. And she's very passionate about helping startup founders. So I'll pass the time to Christina. Christina, you can share with us today.
Thank you, Bob, for the introduction, and thank you for the presentation, Julia. You relaxed me so much that now I need to revigorate myself to jump into the presentation. Are you ready, everyone? Can you see my screen? The typical question before every presentation. Good. All right, I have 10 minutes, and so let's dive in.
Let me know when you're ready.
Actually, I prefer to read your fortune. Temperance. Inverted. Indicative of volatility. A woman who has recently taken a comfort.
Let me know when you're ready.
Actually, I prefer a woman who has recently taken a comfort in drink. From what does she seek solace? What does she not wish to see?
I want to ask you a question. How many of you were judged or mislabeled based on how you look, speak, gender, age, or something else? You can raise your hand or just write in the chat. This is something that is never cool when it happens to us, correct? But we also did the same with others. And this is something I just want to bring into your attention, because reading people, it's like peeling an onion. Every time you have a new layer to uncover, and every time you can be surprised if you let yourself to be surprised. We tend to stereotype people because of resemblances and also because it's convenient for the brain. The brain is a very lazy organ. But in reality, the magic happens only when you are able to put together different puzzle pieces about someone, because only then you can get a better and a bigger picture about all of those nuances that represent us and that a person can offer. We need to think like Sherlock Holmes before, and this word is very, very important, before we start our reading process, because then we can overcome our biases and pre-programmed labels. Otherwise, if you don't put ourselves in the right state before we start the reading or a profiling, then we will be already under the pre-programmed labels to judge someone. Why am I qualified to talk about this topic? Bob did a presentation about what I do right now, so I will fast forward. There you can see a couple of my nicknames that could qualify me for today's presentation, and I need to add that the last two are very recent and are coming from Roxana, who I met and we are very close today. Google Map for Business and Google Search in Life. I truly love these two. Unfortunately, she is not with us today, but fortunately for her, she's doing something amazing that she wants in the US. So when it comes to reading people and businesses, I did this and I'm doing this on a current basis, daily basis, I would say, for multiple purposes, starting from profiling a person or a business for issues like just prospects, if they are the right type of prospects, for hiring, finding leads, firing, leadership, other skill sets that might need to be revised, leadership skills, as I said, red flags, networking issues, if you would want to invest and if there is a potential, and for any kind of reasons. And so I strongly believe that reading people with the right clues and starting with the right mindset before you develop that kind of skill to read someone is one of the most crucial skills you could have, not only in your business, but also to develop great relationships. In this short presentation, I needed to find 3 clues just for the sake of it, because we don't have much time. And so I will give you my list and what I'm looking for when I profile someone on LinkedIn, because I think that this network offers so much when it comes to business prospects, business profiling. And also, if you learn this skill and you start to focus on this, even if it's about the 3 I will just describe in a minute, you will upgrade your business. You will save precious time when it comes to finding the right prospects. And when you get into a communication period, you can impress by just doing these things alone. And so here is my recipe, and the entire list is composed of 50 LinkedIn clues I usually check out when I want to profile someone. But of course, for today, I needed to find 3. And I must tell you that these are one of my favorites if I don't have time, or if I have them, all of these 3, I would start with them many times, because it gives you a lot of precious value and information. And so, as you can see, I will dive in, if you're ready, with the first one. And you can see that the estimated time is not that hard when you start to do these things. Sometimes for me, it takes 15 seconds just to know if I want to dig more and understand that person. Or it can take 15 minutes, especially if it's someone active on LinkedIn and has a lot of things to be unhidden and uncovered. And if I'm interested in that person or company, of course. And so the first one would be the profile picture. And here I put some categories. So first of all, you will know based on the profile picture if the person is here for the game, to play the game correctly, the LinkedIn game, the business professional network kind of game, or it's not exactly for that reason, or doesn't know how to play this game. And so if you're working with others for LinkedIn purposes to improve their profile and so on, you can also take this one clue as a beginning step to create a better profile. And it's very easy to just understand why a screenshot and your face is the best way to have it on LinkedIn, because what do we see everywhere on LinkedIn? And especially if we scroll through the feeds, it is the profile picture, and that is very small, and the headline. So if your face is not in front, others won't be engaged enough or to see something from your face, enough features in a way that they might want to click to see your profile. So this is a mistake that needs to be corrected. And I also want to add that it's based on your title, because this game is played in your industry. So you see the guy on the right side is in t-shirt. If it's about a lawyer, that's a very bad sign. But if it's the standard Silicon Valley startup founder, then this is very expected. For example, if you want funding or to be invested in, and you go into a meeting with an investor, and you're a startup, especially tech AI, a founder, and you don't wear a t-shirt, that rings a bell that you are not an insider, that you might be a rookie or you may be a salesperson, but you are not a true founder. And so these are clues that you can already know what type of picture this person puts there, if it's something related to the industry, knows the game or not. The rookie here, you might have good pictures, but again, if it's not just the face, you can put every kind of picture about talking in public or a microphone on the cover. First of all, I need to see your face. And many times this wants to overcompensate for something, maybe lack of experience, and just to show that, hey, I am someone. And of course, the middle picture, it is very good for a dating site, but it's not good for LinkedIn. And I wouldn't take that person very seriously. He's not here for the real game. And on conventional one, here you can have all kinds of personalities, because they are usually very creative. They have a good self-confidence. They just want to make a statement. And so they are not afraid to do so. One of those are very open to chat and discuss with you. Some of those are a little bit arrogant. So you need to go deeper beyond of these things and uncover the truth. I have 2 extras, of course. The anonymous one, who doesn't show any kind of picture, yeah, this is already a sign that it's not here to grow a business, or it's not very interested. If it hides the profile picture only for the outside, but has it for the insider, again, It shows maybe a little bit of paranoia, too much judgment labeling on other people, and that they don't want to be disturbed. So this is also important to take in account. The right picture, it is a symbol. It is part that you are in a community, in this case, the NFT community. And it is a great indicator in this case that, hey, I can spend a lot of money to have such an avatar, because if you don't know from this space, to buy a Bored Ape avatar, it costed before, but also now, a lot of money, between 100K and 425K type of money. It's more like a vanity statement that shows that you are part of this group. But as Joanne said last time in her presentation, it's all about the branding and what you want to show to the outside about yourself. Going forward to the activity, this is one of my favorite, because usually, of course, you want these 3 clues. If you use this formula only with the 3, not the 15, you want them to be present in the profile, otherwise it doesn't work. The formula, only the profile picture alone, it's not enough. It's only one layer, right, from the onion. So here you have tons of questions that you can ask based on the activity. And they are so important, because here also you have the wording from that person. And words are the route through the brain, the way we think about everything, reality. And so based on that, you can see common denominators, elements about what type of wording they use usually, what type of posting, from what category. If they are posting frequently, what is that frequency? If they comment on others' posts, or only on some certain people from their posts. So these things give a lot of clues about their personality. If they engage in certain type of, let's say, post, if they post pictures, videos, text. And so take this list. I usually go through that very quickly, but here it is the biggest type of profiling, because you do have words, and no matter how many times a person posts, it gives a lot of clues about the way they think, the way they see things, and the way they interact with others. If they want to engage or just be there to show their company and their recognitions and so forth, and maybe they answer to those with whom they have something at stake. And with others, they have nothing to do and they don't care. And this shows a lot of arrogancy as well. And the last one, the recommendations, are very important, because this time you can see the person from the other people's right position. And so now, again, you are very focused on commonalities. Is this a joker? Is this someone who loves humor? Is this a great leader? If you love to engage with others, you will also judge all of these things based on when those recommendations were done. If it was something that was a joint venture, they also received and also gave. If it was just during a period of time, like they were on the market and then it was not something of interest. If this was something consistent and you have it from multiple people. So again, you do have from your perspective, from the profile picture, from their perspective, and from other perspectives, all of this combined together. And with these 3, you can absolutely upgrade your game if you don't have enough time. And of course, you will search for those profiles who have this. So now, if you have any kind of questions, I would love to have a Q&A, but if not, just write in the chat. Also connect with me on LinkedIn, and I will answer any kind of questions. I am very active, as you could presume here. And also, if you know any amazing founder who wants to grow and they are on their way to become a unicorn and have so many things on their plate, it would be highly appreciated to send them my way. And that would be it.
Thank you so much, Christina. I help a lot of profiles with LinkedIn, and I am learning a lot from you here. And it's very good to check out the photo, the activities, the recommendations, the language. That's very interesting. So we have a question from Jessie, actually, Christina. So Jessie asks, how much value do you give to the featured content?
Not much. So on my list is not between the first one, because the featured is basically the way what you want to brand about yourself. And it says less about your personality than all the rest I study. And when I read someone or a business, I focus on their personality. So that can be by chance because someone told you so, or just you liked a post. But let's say that from 15, that would be around number 10 or 11. Title is very important, Joanne, super important, the headline. And of course, if I don't have recommendations or activity, I will also check those. The same with cover pictures. So once I got on someone profile, it is their headshot, is their cover, because that says a lot again, and their titles, of course. And then I will dig more. So yeah, it shows how they want to be seen by others. Very, very important, because even little details, if you put a PhD, doctor and stuff like this, you want to be recognized as someone who knows his deal. But sometimes it can also be a trait that you are insecure and you need to overcompensate. So it is one of those clues that you need to put in balance with all of the rest. What if you have multiple roles? Comes from Philip. Research, scientific consultant, talent agency, interpreting company, book author as well, and new startup ventures in the work. Can you present yourself as a jack of all trades, looking unprofessional, lacking depth or quality? Very, very good question. Again, you need to take this into a balance, because today, for example, in my world, including me, we wear a lot of hats. And that could mean only 1 or 2 hours a month for something, and so on. It is not such a big problem. If you have executive functions or titles that would presume that you need to spend a lot of time on them, and they are in the same time frame, then that is an issue of inconsistency. You don't have time, you just want to show off how many things you can do in a day. Okay. Do you see a difference in Facebook profiling? Yes. So every time when I have the chance and I get the Facebook profile, that would be a second type of layer after LinkedIn, and maybe third, and Google search, because sometimes we have the Twitter profile. So I go on Twitter profile. I discover so many times links that don't work, including for the website. So people just forget about those details to go there and update their contact information. It's a very, very big flaw, because they lose traffic and they show they are not up to date for the game. And so when I have the Facebook through my search, that's awesome, because Facebook is for personal type of profiling, hobbies, what type of pictures I see there. Usually about family, I discover a lot of things on family, and it will tell me an important background story about that person. Yes. And it's completely different. So it's focused on family, it's focused on personal, and what you show on LinkedIn could be completely different from Facebook, because many people have the capacity to isolate the two. They want to play each game correctly, and they don't mix the content what they have on Facebook. So Facebook is like your other half, with kids, family, and friends, and vacations. So yeah. Yeah, sure, we can have a talk. I can have a talk with all of you. It would be my pleasure. That's why I'm here, and I love this event already. I congratulate Bob and Roxana with what they achieved during a short amount of time.
Thank you, Christina. I do have a question. So after you profile someone on LinkedIn, what do you do after that? Do you craft a strategy or change your approach? What do you do after that?
Depends on my goal. I test a lot, I must tell you. And I even tested yesterday, I probably will test today. So I open up conversations through different methods to see their reaction, to see their caution, their guards. And then I have no issues if they don't answer because, okay, it was a test. So you don't take it personally. That's a very powerful thing. Then after 2-3 days, you can test with a different type of message that could be even boldy and it could surprise them. Oh, how does this came from? Where did this came from? You know, sometimes I am very direct with connecting my message with why they didn't answer 2-3 days ago, or maybe in my third message, but in a very creative way. And I'm never there for just, hey, this should be my client. I'm also there to profile, hey, are you really active? Are you open for conversation? Should I recommend you to someone? Sometimes I just want to connect with someone because what they are doing is very interesting. And I would have a client for them. And I just want to know them because if I don't know you, I won't recommend you, never. And so they ignore me 1, 2, 3 times. I say 3 times, it's okay. If you're a founder, especially, you can go beyond of that and to take maybe 2 weeks to assess. But afterwards, it will tell me, hey, you are too paranoid, you are too guarded, you just see that everyone wants your money. And so I just cut off that and I don't spend too much time on that person. But I test them. And so I can see seasonalities as well. I can see timeframes where certain categories are more active. That's very useful. I had one of the best conversations, I mean, tons of writing during weekends or Friday. So depends, you need to figure out your target audience when it's active, when they like to chat more, when they are usually replying between what type of hours. Because if you are active during those hours and you send them something, I mean, your chances increase with at least 90% to really start a conversation. Because even if it was something very cool what you said, but let's say you wrote in the morning when they are so busy, so when they get to LinkedIn, it's over 6-8 hours after your message, they are already with tons of messages, they are just scrolling, they don't pay attention, and it's probably they will miss yours. But if you send it at the right time, they can instantly answer you even in 2 seconds. I mean, I have that if it's the perfect timing.
Awesome, Christina. I think I have the answer to your question also, because I think you do it because you really enjoy, Christina. You enjoy studying people, and that's something I enjoy as well. So you enjoy studying people and seeing their traits, seeing their behavior as well. So that's awesome. So actually, we missed a question by Harvey, but I think Christina did answer it sort of. So I'll read out Harvey's question, but it was much earlier in the presentation where you had the pro-conventional. So Harvey asked, so when to present yourself as pro-conventional? Thanks for telling us, Joanne. So Harvey's question, when to present yourself as pro and when to present yourself as unconventional?
You need a very good self-confidence to present yourself as unconventional, because you will be constantly questioned. And you cannot do that, for example, if your profile is empty, you don't have activities, you don't have a big follower network, you don't have any kind of engagement. It will show like you are a phony. So you need to be a little bit established on LinkedIn before you can put such a picture. And professional, day one, you start showing yourself as a professional.
Also, Christina, I love your example just now of the lawyer, right? So if it's a lawyer, then you cannot be unconventional because they don't want to work with a crazy lawyer. Or if you're a lawyer, don't put an NFT photo. It really depends on what you do. But if you are maybe an owner of a marketing agency, then yes, of course, like if you're in the creative field, you're a photographer or whatever, then I can go a bit unconventional. So thank you, Christina, and thank you so much for sharing. We learned so much today, and I would love to have you back to share more as well, maybe have a full session as well. So awesome sharing, Christina. So if you have any questions, please reach out to Christina on LinkedIn. So I actually forgot this. So Yulia and Christina, please put your LinkedIn links in the chat. Everyone to connect with you. Thank you so much for sharing today. So if you're interested to share, so as I said in the beginning of this meeting, my main goal is to educate business leaders in Europe. So if you like to share for 10 minutes, if you have any sort of expertise, or if you have any sort of knowledge or insights you'd like to share, we can arrange a 10-minute sharing for you. The next one where we have this 10-minute sharing is in August of 10th, and Chow and Martin, who couldn't make it today, will be sharing as well. So if you like to share, send me a message and message me or Rosanna, and we will make arrangements as well. So thank you, Christina.